There are big differences between national police forces across European countries. They use different practices and technologies, and each has its own police identity. CESAM's Associate Professor Gabriele Jacobs coordinated the Comparative Police Studies in the EU, also known as the COMPOSITE Project. It's the biggest comparative police study within Europe. 15 research institutes gathered information from 26 different police forces in 10 countries. The research reveals what and how European police forces can learn from one another. Policing is changing. There are new technologies, but also open borders, changing expectations from the public, and tighter financial resources. Also, new types of crimes developed, and crime has clearly also become more international. Something Frank Pauw, Deputy Chef Constable Police Rotterdam, also notices.
You can go from terrorism till jihadism, till cybercrime, till financial fraud through cyber, is that it's no longer, and for many years already, no longer a national problem.
Crime now travels across borders, and this asks for a more structured approach to tackle the changes.
These changes created a need for many change programs, and all these programs are basically aimed at more efficiency, more effectiveness, higher educational levels, more professionalization of police forces.
The way these change programs in policing are best implemented differ between countries.
Change programs can only work when you link them with their specific organizational, societal context, because you need to understand the community the police is in.
So how are police forces different from one another then? First, in its policing identity. How does the police force see itself? Composite surveyed police officers' perspective on what it means to be a police professional. Researchers identified 5 contrasting views that police officers have of themselves across Europe: the professional service provider, the hands-on enforcer, the community-oriented civil rights protector, the research-driven independent, and state crime fighter.
For example, a professional service provider is a police officer who would describe herself or himself as somebody who mainly focuses at protecting members of the public, helping members of the public, understanding people and taking their concerns seriously. The state crime fighter would be a police officer who defines himself or herself mainly as somebody who maintains law and order and who is an impartial representative of the state. For example, in the Netherlands, we see a stronger preference for the professional service provider, and in the UK, we see a stronger preference for the hands-on enforcer.
But there are more differences. The public and the media also see the role of police differently in each country. More than 10,000 participants from police, citizens and media across Europe shared their view about police activities.
And we have seen that the police in general within Europe has a preference for a stronger crime fighter, law enforcement perspective, which they do more or less on their own, while media has a stronger preference for a service-oriented form of policing, which is basically done together with the public.
The sharing of knowledge, best practices and information is essential to prevent and fight crime. However, this is hindered by being unfamiliar with methods and cultures in other national forces.
Police does not really know what is happening in other countries. The real exchange is very, very limited, and that the international exchange is really low on the priority list of police forces. To understand crime, to prevent crime and to fight crime, we need to do this jointly within Europe and on an international level.